Right now, on TikTok, the hashtag Skinwalker has over 8 billion views. Doorbell cameras capturing shadows, night vision clips of animals standing upright, teenagers screaming at their screens, tens of millions of views per clip. But there's a Navajo grandmother who won't watch any of them. She won't click. She won't share. She won't even say the word out loud. Not because she doesn't believe, but because she knows what one actually looks like. And she knows that speaking its name might make it listen. This is entry 002, the year Naaldlooshii. We're in the high desert of the Four Corners, where Arizona, Utah, New Mexico, and Colorado meet. Red earth stretches beneath thunderheads. A hogan sits alone against the mesa, smoke rising from the center. Inside, a grandmother tends the fire. Outside, coyotes call. Her granddaughter asks, "What is the year Naaldlooshii?" The grandmother pauses. In Dene tradition, this isn't a bedtime story. It's a boundary, a warning, a truth older than the reservation system that tried to erase it. She begins. Before the government drew lines on our land, our people understood something the modern world forgot. The line between human and animal was never as solid as you think, and some people, the broken ones, learn to cross it. To understand that word, you have to know what someone must do to earn it. To become a skinwalker, a witch must commit the unthinkable, take the life of someone they love, a sibling, a parent. That act severs them from the harmony the Dene call Hojo, the balance of all things. Only then can they don an animal's skin and move between worlds. So when people whisper skinwalker, they're not talking about a monster. They're talking about what happens when a soul breaks. Anthropologist Clyde Kluckhohn spent years among the Navajo in the 1940s, documenting these accounts. He recorded stories of witches moving between forms, not as fantasy, but as lived belief woven into community structure. But his academic notes couldn't capture what it meant. To understand a skinwalker, you have to understand Hojo, the Navajo concept of harmony, balance, beauty. It's not just an idea, it's a way of life. Everything, from how you speak to how you walk the land. A skinwalker is the opposite, the destroyer of balance, the one who chose selfish power over community. In the old stories, you could recognize them. A wolf that moved wrong, a coyote with human eyes, a neighbor with a wound in the same place you shot at a creature the night before. Children grew up hearing these warnings, not to scare them, but to teach them. In one account from the 1970s, a fifth grader described a shape changer slipping into hogans at night, paralyzing families before dawn. To the kids, it wasn't horror. It was instruction, respect boundaries, maintain balance. Know that when someone breaks the sacred order, everyone suffers. And then there's the grandmother in Nevada who kept her curtains drawn every night before sunset. Her family asked why. She never explained, just said it was watching. She was full-blooded Navajo, raised on the old stories, and she believed. One evening, she was planting flowers with her grandson outside. The boy was laughing, digging in the dirt. Suddenly, she froze. Beyond the fence, maybe 30 feet away, stood a large black dog. Not a coyote, not a wolf, something else. Its eyes glowed like coals in the fading light. It didn't move, didn't blink, just watched. The grandmother grabbed her grandson and pulled him toward the house, her voice shaking. "Get inside. Now." As they reached the door, she whispered, not to the boy, but to whatever stood in her yard. "I see you, ye Naaldlooshii." The next morning, the flowers were trampled. Large prints circled the fence. She told her family, "It found me." That's not a TikTok story. That's not a meme. That's a grandmother's terror, real, raw, and rooted in belief that goes back centuries. And every time the internet turns it into 3 seconds of jump scare content, that truth disappears. Scroll through #Skinwalker on TikTok and you'll see the pattern. A grainy doorbell camera, something moving on all fours, then standing upright. Cut to teenager screaming, "Bro, no way." 47 million views. Last month, one went mega viral. Skinwalker caught on camera, real footage. It was a coyote, standing on its hind legs, reaching for a bird feeder. Because that's what coyotes do. They stand, they reach, they're opportunistic. But here's what those videos never show. They don't tell you that many Navajo won't say "Yeah, Naaldlooshii" out loud, not because it's mysterious and cool for the algorithm, but because speaking it might invite attention. The kind you don't want. They don't tell you this isn't about a cryptid or a monster. It's about a witch, a human being who murdered their own family to gain dark power. They don't tell you that in traditional stories, if you see one, you don't chase it with your phone. You close your door. You say a protection prayer. You tell your family to stay inside. Because confronting a Naaldlooshii isn't great content for viral videos. It's dangerous. The TikTok version is a game, a trend, a sound. The Navajo version is a warning about what happens when someone destroys everything sacred for power. There's a difference. Theory 1. Moral collapse. The Skinwalker is what happens when someone chooses power over kinship. A human breaking the sacred balance of community. Theory 2. Human versus wilderness. In a land of predators and scarcity, it marks the boundary between survival and transgression. Theory 3. Cultural distortion. When outsiders strip context, they turn a moral warning into a monster movie. As scholar Adrienne Keene notes, that isn't just misunderstanding, it's erasure. You'll find shapeshifter legends across the world. The Nawal in Mesoamerica, shamans who could become jaguars. The berserkers of Norse sagas, warriors who wore bearskins and lost themselves. European werewolves, humans cursed to transform under the full moon. But the Naaldlooshii is different. In those other traditions, the transformation is often involuntary, a curse, a gift, a loss of control. The Skinwalker chooses it, through the most unforgivable act, killing kin. That's what makes it uniquely Navajo. It's not about the beast, it's about the betrayal. And that's why, when we strip this legend down to a TikTok jump scare, we lose everything that matters. We lose the moral weight, the cultural context, the warning about what happens when you choose power over people. Every source I used is in the description, from academic papers to Navajo scholars. Because when we talk about someone else's culture, receipts matter. So next time a Skinwalker video slides onto your For You page, and it will, remember this. There's a real community behind that legend. Real families who carried this story through centuries, not for entertainment, but for survival, for meaning, for boundaries that matter. When we strip that away for clicks and views, we're not just getting it wrong. We're erasing something that was never ours to take. If you value stories told with respect and truth beneath the mystery, subscribe to Archive of the Unseen. Until next time, keep your lights low, your mind open, and your respect intact.